It's cozy time. Yeah. It's holiday time.
That's right.
It's super happy fun time.
Cuddle time.
Or it's super lame, sad, weird time because it's the holidays.
That's true.
It's either one. There's no gray area usually with that. But
I wish there was something to change that.
There is. Our sponsor, Melt Premium Mushroom Chocolates, has a special deal for No Simple Road listeners. They are giving you buy one, get one free.
The old BOGO.
Yeah, the BOGO for the holidays, so you could stuff stockings or your mouth with their delicious premium mushroom chocolates.
Or stock up on your mood elevator.
That's true. Or your daily microdose. 4 grams of their sacred mushroom blend in every bar. They have some adaptogens in there. They have peanut butter, dark chocolate, matcha, mint, coffee crunch, milk chocolate, and pistachio flavors.
And all the way from improving mood, focus, memory, depression, and anxiety.
Yes. And all the other benefits that microdosing does for you. They have that and more. So what you're going to do is you're going to follow at Melt Mushrooms on Instagram, MELTMUSHROOMS. Shoot them a DM. Tell them No Simple Road sent you. They're going to send you their menu. You're going to get buy one, get one free. And then they're going to ship it to your house, and then you're going to have them. You can put them in the stocking, and then it'll make the holidays really dope.
Yeah, put it in your own stocking.
You're going to be like, yum, these are so delicious. You're going to want to order more.
And you'd be like, whoa.
You're going to be like, I feel so good. I'm going to order more.
Melt Premium Mushroom Chocolates. You could cook at home. You could totally do that. Or you could have a really super fun, happy, exciting, wonderful night out with delicious food and amazing atmosphere.
Treat yourself.
That sounds really nice.
You can go over to Fire on the Mountain. If you live in Portland, there's 3 locations here. There's 2 locations in Denver and a single location in Bend that just opened up. Congratulations, Fire on the Mountain.
Congratulations,
they're killing
Bend.
it out there.
Tell us about the specials, Apple.
Well, at the Fremont location, they have the 1/3 pound burger patty with chorizo jam, serrano chili, and cilantro slaw on a brioche bun served with your choice of side. Then they also have the waffle fries drizzled with truffle oil, topped with Parmesan cheese and parsley.
And at the Burnside location, we got pumpkin pie bites, battered and fried and dusted with cinnamon and served with a side of whipped cream.
Well, mine doesn't sound as much fun now because it's green beans battered to perfection, served with sweet chili aioli.
That sounds amazing.
No, it sounds amazing, but following pumpkin bites.
Pie bite,
yeah, you could say anything after pumpkin pie bite's not going to sound as good.
I was excited. I thought I should have went first.
Reaffirms what we always say. Make sure when you go here to save room for dessert.
Totally. And if you're not in one of these places, you can go to portlandwings.com and order their sauce right to your house and have a whole Fire on the Mountain night. You can even order some of their gear and wear a hat and their socks and a hoodie and then cook it up, and you're going to have a whole experience there. You can also follow them on Instagram if you want to see pictures of all this delicious stuff at FOTMPDX, FOTM Denver, and FOTM Bend. Fire on the Mountain. Get up, get out of the door. Go eat there. We all have that old crusty head in our friend group, or maybe you are that old crusty head in your friend group.
I am not.
That has everything Grateful Dead and is impossible to shop for the holidays or their birthday or whatever. Go to Shop Tour Bus. Check out the online lot's dopest Grateful Dead design t-shirts. And these aren't your everyday, like, steal your faces and stuff. You need to go over there and check it out. And they just re-released a bunch of old designs out there?
Yeah, they pulled out some older designs to do reprints on Standing on the Moon, the Stella Blue design, and the Broke Down Palace.
The Broke Down Palace one is so dope. And all these designs are on super premium comfortable t-shirts or hoodies.
Yes.
The stickers are amazing. All of it. I'm telling you, just go over there and check this stuff out. And they're giving the No Simple Road family
free shipping
when you put in the promo code No Simple Road, all one word. And hey, these all over print boxes come filled with a bunch of extras. A lot of them, well, not a lot, some of them come with a miracle Grateful Dead bootleg in them. Just saying, you may get an actual cassette tape held by heads of the past and venerated for the music that is contained therein. It could happen.
Oh,
It
think
keeps
about
the
all the
magic
love that's in
alive.
those tapes.
That's true. So go to shoptourbus.com, order yourself something, order something for the crusty head in your life. They're going to love it. You're going to feel good. They may even get a miracle. Shop Tour Bus. One of our favorite sponsors is back with us. Sunset Lake CBD.
Yeah.
If you're looking for CBD that actually does what CBD is supposed to do, look no further than our friends over at Sunset Lake.
Let me break it down.
Break it down, Mel.
They're sustainably farmed, meaning they avoid pesticides and use sustainable farming practices to preserve the land for future generations. 1. 2, farm to table. They ship the CBD products straight from their door in Vermont directly to your door wherever you're at.
Now that's cool.
And third party tested. They test everything with the third party to ensure quality, dosage, and safety.
You got to go over and check out sunsetlakecbd.com. They have so many products. Break it down for them, Apple.
Well, they've got some new stuff going on. Like they always had pre-rolls, but now they got really cool packaging for it. And you can get CBD pre-roll flights of all their flavors. You can get the heavy hitter flight that also throws in some of their Keef blunts. They have a new CBD recovery body lotion.
I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other?
The other one with arnica.
The extra strength muscle rub, 3,000 milligram with 5% lidocaine.
So look,
Oh, yeah,
if you're
lidocaine.
sore, this is the stuff you want to rub on your body to make those aches and pains go away. They even have CBD infused coffee, so you can have coffee without the little jitter that you get from caffeine, and you have it in the morning and you start your day off right. Your body feels lubricated. You're going to sleep good.
Yeah, and also they have, if you kind of forget to reorder, they've got subscriptions.
And they're giving the No Simple Road family 20% off.
20% off.
Put
with
in the promo code NSR20 when you're checking out at sunsetlakecbd.com. You're going to get 20% off your entire order.
NSR20.
And don't forget those cute little gummy bears.
That's right. sunsetlakecbd.com, one of our favorite sponsors, is back.
No Simple Road. Yeah, here we go. No Simple Road.
Where we're going, we don't need roads, but we are No Simple Road. Get it?
Yeah.
Get it? It's funny.
It is because you're funny. You need
Hey, now.
You need a shirt that says that you're funny so people know.
I will. I'm going to have that. I'm going to wear a shirt that says I'm funny. Hey, now, No Simple Road family. How's everybody doing? This is Aaron.
This is Mel.
It's Apple, and I got Darwin laying by my feet.
Yeah, you do. And we're back for another episode of No Simple Road. This week's guest on the show is Andy Stepanian of Leon III, returning to No Simple Road for a second appearance. Let's hear it. Well, no, I can't.
That's all right.
Do the
I just did it.
clapping.
I clapped.
Yay.
Yay.
So for those of you that are No Simple Road listeners, you know the deep love and connection that we have with Leon III here at No Simple Road. During quarantine, they came out with Antlers in Velvet, and their publicist actually sent it to us. I had never heard of Leon III, and
Sleeping on it.
I got this email from their publicist, and she was like, "Hey, I think this would be a perfect fit for No Simple Road. You should give this album a listen. Let me know what you think." And from the very first notes of Antlers in Velvet, I was like, "Oh my God, I haven't had an album do what Antlers in Velvet did for me during that time period since I was a teenager in high school listening to like Dark Side of the Moon for the first time, or
Epic albums.
Yes.
The coolest thing about music is that it can constantly surprise you.
For sure.
You know, like the way that it can make you feel, you're not expecting it.
Mm-mm.
And that's why when an album, like a second album, a follow-up album, is after such a great album, you're like, oh, I wonder, but then you hear it and it's just as jaw-dropping and fascinating as the first one.
Well, that's...
But like in its
in its
new,
own thing,
in a new
I would say
way.
too that Antlers in Velvet too. It's one of those like not classic epic albums like where you like to listen to it, but my preferred method is with
headphones.
Mm-hmm.
Like anything by Radiohead, Pink Floyd. When you got the headphones on, it takes you on a journey.
For sure.
It feels like a great album to be alone with.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah.
And also in a group for sure, because we've done it and it's amazing.
So when Leon III came out with their next album, which is the new album that's out now, it's called Something Is Trying to Change My Mind. Before I heard it, I was trepidatious because we've all had those albums that hit us like a ton of bricks. And then the next album from that band, you're like, it's good, but it didn't do the thing that the last one did. Well,
nor should it.
Well, no, you don't. Look, it doesn't have to be a home run every time, but
It's awesome when it is.
yes. This is one of those cases where they did it again. And I was so excited to talk to Andy about this particular album, and hearing from him what he had been going through prior to our conversation was kind of shocking, and hearing his thoughts on if they could do it again was also kind of shocking.
Mm-hmm.
I was completely under the impression that you just did it again and didn't even consider that as a musician. You just went and did it. You know what I mean? I didn't ever think about that.
Well, you don't think about that if you're not in that position. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. So I need to let everybody know too that Apple was not here again for this one. Sadly, he was somewhere.
Which is I had to work. I had to work.
Okay.
It's the day job thing. That's the only thing that ever keeps me from doing this. But bittersweetly, I look forward. Like, I miss this one. So like all you listeners, I get to listen to this because I don't know what they talked about. I'm looking forward to hearing what went down and what happened.
It was a great conversation.
Yeah, it was.
Literally.
I know. When I came home,
Andy.
you guys were like, it was awesome. I'm like, oh, damn day job.
Sorry, man.
Sorry,
just appreciate-
Andy. I love you.
Appreciate connecting with Andy, but just, you know, all the musicians that we get to speak with. It feels like it's an energy boost at the end of the conversation. You're like, I'm always like charged up or excited and like have a deep love and respect for them. We want to go listen to their music again right away. Like it just charges me up.
Yeah. And like we were just saying, like gushing over the album, I really mean it. Go download the album, do whatever you got to do to get in the right headspace, put on your headphones and lay back and take the ride with this one. It is something else. And I promise you that you're going to dig it. So you're also going to dig this conversation. So we're going to get to the business and get you right to the interview. Follow No Simple Road at No Simple Road on all the social medias and all that stuff. Go to our website, get a tarot reading, get some gear, No Simple Road gear.
Yeah, freshen
all kinds
up.
of gear.
We got
Good stuff.
We got infamous string dusters tonight. We're going to be out there at Revolution Hall, and then tomorrow night we are going to be at Dogs in a Pile and Pigeons Playing Ping Pong
At Crystal Ballroom.
That's right. And hey, check this out. The No Simple Road crew
What?
is hosting the
we
first
are.
ever No Simple Road holiday get down at the Get Down on December 7th. You can get tickets at thegetdownpdx.com or at nosimpleroad.com. We got members of Lost Docs, Bodie Mojo, Garcia Birthday Band, Sponge,
Family Mystic,
and World's Finest
Wow.
coming to join us. They're going to play a set of originals, a set of covers, and a set of Grateful Dead music.
Whoa.
3 sets interspersed with conversation with the No Simple Road family. This is going to be a kick-ass night.
Wow.
You have one more day for early bird ticket pricing, so go grab your tickets right now. Trust me, just do it now.
Yeah, this is going to be a sellout. Each one of those bands has its own wonderful, huge following in the Pacific Northwest out here. So this is going to be so fun and such a good time to just get together before the holiday, before everybody gets here. If they're traveling in from out of town, it's earlier in the month, and yeah, it's going to be a beautiful, fun, wonderful night.
It's gonna be
December
a lot
7th.
represented there.
Yeah.
So yeah, get your tickets now. The other thing I want to tell you about is our Patreon, patreon.com/No Simple Road. Aside from ad-free and early releases, aside from side roads where you get deep dives with the No Simple Road family and us, you are getting all the content that Apple and Mel are starting to produce on Patreon. Mel is doing a tarot card of the day.
Mm-hmm. It's been going great. I love it. It's actually made me feel really excited to do it. I think I forgot yesterday, and I decided that I wasn't going to do it 7 days a week, but Monday through Friday. And it's my original intent was, to create more content and to be a little bit more involved in the Patreon community. And also I thought it would be a good idea to just have people like learn about the tarot and the oracle decks, like you don't have to believe in it or like it or anything, but it's just, tarot uses symbolism and these symbols are universal. So just knowing about the cards and about the symbols and the themes that they hold, sometimes it can just kind of help you in your life, and maybe you think about it all day, or it gives you a little perspective shift or something,
or you could treat
insight.
it like a horoscope for the day.
Yeah my again, the secondary intention was it's for the No Simple Road family. If I was Aaron, me and Apple were the caretakers of this ship, right? And so I was thinking with the intention of like, what does the family need to see today? That's usually when I draw a card.
That's dope.
What's the what's the message that we could use today? So take it or leave it. But it's been fun for me.
Yep. And Apple, what are you doing?
I'm doing a cornucopia of shit. There is the I'm gonna do one the cinematic adventures with Apple. Again, thank you, Matthew, for throwing that name out there. I love it. Some behind the scenes of what I do. I posted some videos of a tour of a dispensary that I was working at the other day. I'm going to throw some weed reviews in there, which I need to do. Sorry, Eli, I haven't done that yet. And jokes, just whatever I'm feeling for the
Apple,
day.
okay. Apple content.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know exactly until I do it, but you're going to get cool stuff, mostly like things that we're into or I'm into.
We got No Simple Road archivist Connor.
We got Andrew.
He is doing weekly deep cuts from Jerry Garcia Band and the Grateful Dead. And then Andrew at Some Saxy Art is doing Andrew's No Simple Picks. So he's picking at least one deep cut from around the jam scene every week. So you're getting ad-free early. You're getting side roads. You're getting Apple's thing. You're getting a card a day.
And you've been doing stuff too.
Yeah,
like
I was just going to say, you're getting the picks from Connor and Andrew. And then I am doing a whole coffee nerd section.
I love Aaron's coffee
So
nerd section.
I'm nerding out on coffee in there for you. So please, the Patreon has been blowing up. Please go join. You can join for like $1 and you get all this extra content. Hang out with the No Simple Road family, even when we're not podcasting.
We've also heard rumor that Darwin is planning on throwing some stuff in here and there.
His favorite piles of doo-doo.
Maybe. Wait, whatever he's feeling.
You never know.
Hey.
All right. That's the Patreon. You get the idea. And please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Call the Tepid line at 971-808-1624. That is your 3-minute on our Tepid line.
Yeah, open mic to do whatever you want.
And
we did get an Apple review, new one. Yes. We got some more 5-star ratings. We're at 419 now, one short of 420.
Who's going to be our 420?
So we got a review, 5-star review, long overdue. This is from Meg in a Hole.
All right, Meg
listening to NSR has become a part of my weekly routine. I feel empty when I miss a beat.
Aww.
Grateful to feel a part of your fam.
Oh, right on.
Wow.
Thank you, Meg in a Hole.
Meg in a Hole.
That's so cool.
That's sweet.
It's very sweet.
I find it a big honor to be a part of anybody's week.
Right?
I find it an honor to be a part of my own week. It's tough sometimes.
That's your birthday month review.
Yeah, thank you, Meg, for my birthday month review. Anybody else wants to leave one? I'm open. My cup's full, but you can help it overflow. Am I missing anything? Tell somebody you love about the show.
Yeah.
Well, were you going to play anything?
Sure.
I just finished the episode with Dr. Asianstat like 30 seconds ago, and it was super interesting to me. For one, it was really funny how y'all started to get into the topic of like sleep paralysis, which I'm particularly interested in. and then it like cut out, and then like the thrash metal for the Brutally Delicious podcast started playing. It just was super on brand. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but anyway, I have a question for the three of you. So I am a big fan in the surreal and absurd and spooky, as far as like dreams and psychology goes. Like I said, I'm particularly fascinated with sleep paralysis and the types of things people encounter when experiencing that. So I want to ask, and this is something I ask people that I'm like growing close with, just to share like in depth with them. I want to ask, what is the worst dream you've ever had? And I'm not talking like something related to a trauma or like something that's like tangibly like real scary, like losing loved ones or anything like that. I'm talking like supernaturally like terrifying. Whether it's just something that really stuck out to you or a recurring dream you had when you were a kid that would send you awake screaming. I know this is a bit of a darker question, but like I said, it's something that I'm absolutely fascinated in. A lot of mine as a kid were akin to like 2006 internet jump scares, where like I would be in a setting and know that I'm about to see something that I don't want to, and just feeling absolutely dreadful about it. And then it appearing, and I'm like closing my eyes and covering my face, but I still see it. And my dad used to have really bad night terrors where he would like wake up. He wouldn't even wake up. He would just be like growling and like
shit,
this low guttural, like animalistic, primal, like growling, and he could never remember what was making him dream that.
Whoa, that's heavy.
So, yeah, tell me what you think. And if you're not comfortable with sharing it or it won't come to you, then so be it. But I just thought it would be a really interesting thing to hear from you guys about. So, love ya. Bye-bye.
Wow, Eli. All right, I'll go first.
I'd say Aaron was ready. Aaron's
I know.
I've got an entire Rolodex in my head. So I suffer from periodic bouts of really, really intense nightmares. I don't know if they're night terrors or not. I don't wake up like screaming or anything like that, but they are horrifying, and they come in bouts. Like I'll have them for a month and then they'll be gone for a while and whatever. Two that stand out: when I was a kid, I would have a reoccurring dream of hands coming out of the floor, the bed, and the walls, trying to pull me down into whatever. And I would wake up freaking out as a little kid from the hands trying to get me. And then another reoccurring dream I've had, I mean, even since we've lived here in Portland, is the apocalypse, like gnarly nuclear, everything's just destroyed and I'm lost in a city that's just barren and thrashed and everything's broken and destroyed. So that's mine. You guys have any?
Well, I'll throw mine in there. Okay. I don't really have bad dreams. Now, I was going to say it like I was in nowadays. I don't have bad dreams a lot. I do have the sleep paralysis once in a while, but it's not connected to like a night terror or nightmare. It's in the dream. Like I can't move in the dream. And then it like you want to scream. There's nothing coming to get me. There's nothing scary except for I can't move and I want to talk in the dream. And then I wake up like and have that paralysis and like I'm scared for a minute. And then like the warmth comes rushing back and everything's fine. It's like, what the fuck? But since you said the childhood thing, I don't even know if you know this. When we moved into the house on Bronco in 1979, we were getting like irrigation done for landscaping and stuff. And we had ditches around the house for a while, for like a month or so. They were doing stuff. And I was having dreams. I would have been 10 years old, 10, 11, dreams that the ditches were full of blood and dead babies.
Jesus.
And I would
dude.
wake up screaming and stuff to the point I had my mom and dad actually this was shortly before, a few years before they divorced, but bad enough that it was traumatic to me and the family that they took me to like a child counselor to go talk to about it and stuff.
That's heavy.
And he was one of those ones which was cool. He was
probably smoking a cigarette.
He had like all the like Nerf bats and things like that.
Yeah.
Like you'd beat up bean bags and like just beat the shit out of stuff to get it out of you, like whatever it may be. There was never really any answer to why I had them or what it was or anything, but it was like dead babies in a ditch of blood.
I think that's
that's
some past life shit you brought with you.
Something, but that's
weird.
that one to this day. Even just talking about it just kind of made my fucking hair
Mel,
stand
you got
up
any?
a little.
I only have one, and I don't remember so many of my dreams, but the one that I remember that was associated with sleep paralysis was when we lived in Las Vegas and we were in Cayuga and we had Simon.
Oh, shit.
Or I was pregnant with Simon. Or was I pregnant with Simon? Or
No, he was in the bed with us.
Yeah, Simon was in the bed with us. That's right. Simon was in the bed with us. And we were all sleeping and I got sleep paralysis and
I woke up and I heard her
trying to like move and I felt like it as if it were a demon. I didn't see it, but it felt like something was like on me because it didn't. I mean, yeah. So it felt like something was grabbing me, or not, just like holding me down, not grabbing me. That's not the right word, but like keeping me down, and then whispered in my ear, "He's mine," and like it.
I saw it. I saw it going down. I saw her struggling and like not being able to move and trying to talk and not being able to talk, and it was.
I was scared
creepy,
because
dude.
I was like the baby. I was like trying to like get to Simon, and the whole there was backstory to this whole thing because there was like a lot of family like drama happening at that time with my brother. And some like kind of witchcraft with his, partner at the time. And like,
we've been through some weird shit.
Yeah, I don't really talk about that part of my life on No Simple Road. But there was some real life, not dream life stuff going on. And that, I had that happened to me. And it was a very clear message. I felt like I had gotten the message loud and clear. I felt like when I woke up, I knew what that voice meant and what it was talking about. And I didn't have it after. I mean, I've had sleep paralysis since then, but like, it's not memorable to me.
That's
like,
spooky. I've never heard that before. Especially to hear that. He's mom.
Yeah, it was.
Dude,
it was.
I didn't hear that. I just saw her.
It was ominous. Like the whole experience was very ominous because I kind of remember that it wasn't like dark at night. It was like a nap or something like that. We were taking a nap and it was like maybe like evening or later afternoon. It wasn't like in the middle of the night. Mm-hmm. So it was very kind of like eerie that this entity or this thing
like
or spirit
to happen when the sun's up.
Yeah, exactly. It was just so, and just that feeling of like I was trying to call Aaron, but I couldn't. And I was trying to reach to him and I couldn't. And like my mouth was really tight and like, it just like was like this huge internal struggle, and then finally broke through. And then I felt Aaron, and it was Aaron that touched me that broke the seal. Like he like kind of reached over and like grabbed my hand, and then finally I was able to like exhale and come back to.
It was a trip.
Yeah.
Damn.
It was serious.
I have one more. When we first got Sunset Lake CBD as a sponsor for No Simple Road, they sent us this big care package of CBD stuff, and I took some tincture one night, and I didn't know that I was sensitive to CBD the way that I am, and I was having like night terrors all night long. Mel was out of town, and I woke up from a nightmare. Like I don't know if you've ever had this, but like you're coming up out of a hole almost as you're waking up, like you're down in the dream and coming up into wakefulness in the dark in the middle of the night in my room. And do you know what the Dementors look like in Harry Potter?
I remember when this happened.
Do you know what they look like?
Yeah.
Like that. It looked like Dementors were spinning around the top of my bed, and I was wide a fucking awake.
Yeah.
And I was like froze, like 48-year-old man frozen in fear in his bed in the middle of the night. He's like freaking out. Yeah. Thanks for the wonderful memories.
Hold on, Eli, because I got one. Because when that happened, I remember I told you this story. This is just a quick one, and this is my mom and stepdad when we lived in that same house. And I think there's something with that Bronco house too. There was some
Indian burial
weirdness.
ground or some shit.
But my stepdad, no belief whatsoever in like paranormal ghosts or anything. Like total, like that shit doesn't exist. My mom. We woke up. My mom was struggling. He woke up and said my mom was like struggling, like somebody was holding her down or something.
Mm-hmm.
And and something in her arm was up in the air. And then afterwards found out my mom said somebody had her by the arm and was pulling her, trying to pull her out of the bed. My stepdad sits up, looks, sees a dude on her side of the bed, like grabbing her and pulling her, and he full on, and that's when he was still a firefighter and like bigger, full on swung at where his arm went right through it. He fell over her out of the bed onto the ground, and then she woke up after all that because he like fell over her, and she had a hand mark, a brute like this, a thumb and the 4 fingers bruise mark on her arm, and my stepdad won't talk about it to this day because he never believed in that shit, and
now
he saw that shit, and he doesn't want to speak about it.
It's all fun and games till it happens. So like, I don't believe in none of that, and then
shit.
yeah,
like, oh shit,
yeah. I wasn't sitting there waiting for something to roll up on me between my baby and like my man, but whispering in my ear crazy stuff.
That shit's scary. That freaked me out when he said when it was like, he's.
That's how it was. Like on my left side, I was sleeping, and in my left ear.
Man.
Yeah.
Anyway,
damn, Eli.
Thanks,
we
Eli.
might be able to do a whole episode on this in the future.
I think we just got our next side road right there. So I don't know how we segue from that.
Yeah,
you want to have better dreams? You should listen to Something Is Trying to Change My Mind by Leon III. That's how you do it, Aaron.
Good job, babe. Good job.
Everybody, go follow Leon III. If you don't already, it's Leon and then I, capital I, Leon III. So when you see that, then you know what they're called. And Andy, thank you again for spending time with us, man. Anytime we get to spend with you is like being with a long lost brother, and I cannot wait until we get Leon III out to play Rhythms Ground.
Yes, Andy, we're gonna hold you to it. We're holding you to what you said.
We're gonna make it happen, brother. So everybody, you ready?
Yeah.
We're flush the mental toilet right now. All the bad stuff. Bye bye.
You know what? Let's take a deep breath together before we do this.
Ready?
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. And we're going to ease into Leon III and Andy and all the good stuff out there. You ready?
Just let it go right.
We're easing into it. Without further ado, the No Simple Road crew gives you
Andy of Leon III.
How high is your fever? I need to know. How deep is your hole? Tell me deep. That from here, oh now, it's only good road.
I'm currently unmuted.
You
Yes,
have
you are.
unmuted, sir. Good morning.
What's up, crew?
How you doing, man?
Wonderful to see you.
You too, man.
Too.
What happened? You got a haircut.
Oh, I know. A big one. A big one. It was a sad day, actually.
Did you chop your
It was
strength
sad.
off? Is that?
I actually may have, but I think I'm getting it back now, but
Right.
it took a while. Yeah.
Andy, it's great to see you, man. How you been?
I've been really good. I've been really, really good. I'm really excited to talk to you all and see your faces again. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, for sure, man. Let's just start with let's just dig in.
Let's do it.
I don't know how you do it. I don't know like what weird connection you have to the inside of my brain. But when you released
Don't let him put that on you, Andy.
it's true. When you released Antlers in Velvet, man, and I told you this last time we talked, like that album really was the soundtrack to everything that was going on in my emotional world at the time. That album hit me really hard and has remained a mainstay in like my listening consistently since. And I was wondering if you could do it again. When
That makes two of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
And you fucking did it again, man. Like, just first off, let's start with congratulations
Yeah,
on
that
on
you
the new
really
album.
deserve that. Congratulations.
Thank you. There's a lot of catharsis in it. We're really happy to finally get it out there. And yeah, thank you. I guess I'd say that we thought we really did something special with Antlers. And like you, I thought maybe that was it. Like maybe I'd put it all out there. Maybe I couldn't scratch it again. And I really, I feel like we did. I feel like we did. We did it in a different way. But I love what we did on Something Is Trying to Change My Mind. I think it's beautiful and jarring at times. And I love it. I love it. I'm really happy with where it turned out.
You know, I have to say, like, I didn't doubt that you could do it again. I just wondered if we could get to the same place. And honestly, this seems like Leon III went deeper into its voice with this album.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. I think it's a fair set. I think we've been kind of climbing the rungs of the ladder as we've gone through the three albums. Frankly, I think the first album we were trying to figure out what we were, and we had a lot of musicians just coming in for the day on that one. And then we were way more engaged with Antlers in Velvet. But this time around, the album was made with more. Leon III's technically just Mason and me, but
Yeah.
over the years, it has started to become a smaller group, more of an inner circle. And like Isaiah Gill and Mark Riddell, the drummer and bass player, I mean, we don't play without them now, and they were both on the album. And so like I feel like we're getting close to like what the band sounds like maybe. And sharpening up what we're doing and on a more consistent basis, I guess. And I love that. I mean, originally when I started this, I didn't ever want to be locked in to a band because I was like, I don't want to have to deal with anybody else's schedule or whatever. But now I'm like really loving where we are. And candidly, we're already kind of off and running on something else that is like just the core band's working on, and that's going to be pretty fun, I think.
Can you talk about it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was an accident, really. I mean, I referenced it a little bit, but like, well, I don't know. We had some days off during a tour back in May, and we took some fragments. We went to Mark Never's studio over in South Carolina because had days off between shows over there, and we just took a bunch of cast-offs and pieces from this album and some from Antlers, and I was just like, come on, like let's just try them. Let's go see. Let's try them. And if we emerge with one song that we like, that'll be kind of a win.
Right.
And we emerged with 6. And it was like, whoa, okay, there's something here. And I haven't had any energy to work on them. I haven't had any energy to work on anything until like last Monday. And so we're like back in on it. And like, I honestly had a sense that I might not ever write another song again. After there's just been this void of creative energy. But I'm happy to announce that, like, I don't know what happened last weekend, but kind of getting the album out, and we played a big show over in Austin, and it just getting like cleaning the pipes out. Like all of a sudden, like I woke up on Monday morning and it was like, I can feel that, this tide is coming again.
Oh, wow.
So like I'm working today. I've got all these things that I feel like I need to scratch down before I lose it again. So exciting. Feel happy. Yeah.
What do you do, man? Like, because I go through that too. Those times when what you normally do, it feels mundane. You know what I mean? Like you're just kind of living your life. That creative spark isn't hitting you. And what do you do during those times, man? Do you just like let it happen and sit in it, or do you try and force a process?
I've been sitting in it. And that's all kind of always been the way it is. It's like the bucket gets full. I empty the bucket. And like, I feel like this album was very hard to make, by the way. Like we struggled and we fucked a lot of stuff up during it, and we wasted a lot of time, and we got angry. Or I did, not with each other, not with each other, but like sort of creatively angry, like, damn it, this is just not working, and we're not going about this the right way. And so I think that the trials of all of that really wore me out. And then we had some tours that really wore me out too. And I was kind of like, oh man, the bucket is so empty right now. I just can't find it. I can't find anything. And I'm not trying. I'm just going to let it go. And like, honestly, there were like weeks at a time where I wouldn't touch my guitar, which is very unusual. Like, I'm serious. Like you're catching me in a moment where I'm like pretty damn shocked that it's been like a light switch. Wow. That all of a sudden I'm like, flip, here we go. It's coming again. And I'm so excited about it, to be honest with you, because I thought it was over and I wouldn't get to ever talk to y'all again.
That's it.
Talk to us anytime, man. You don't need an album.
No, I think that's really a cool testament to how awesome humanity is. And like when we think we're like, don't have anything left, there's always one more sip or one more thing to reach out of. And even if we don't feel it, just surprising ourselves because, like you said, with your first album, you thought you put it out there, and then here's another album that rivals that one in the same kind of way. So creative, very much your own sound, but very different. It's a progression instead of like something that's staying in the same lane. And so to have just that, and then now a new, wellspring, that to me just says that like, it's just our mind. We get scared, we get scared. We won't be able to put ourselves in like another creative, successful place, but that clearly isn't true. That's, like that's just like a worry, but it's not a reality. Yeah.
And in this case, I sort of credit everyone around me for that. Like we had just a fabulous weekend, sort of celebrating getting the album out, and we played a big show at ACL Music Fest in Austin on Sunday, and all that. And it wasn't the show and it wasn't the playing that was inspiring as much as it was like, well, you know, at the end of a day, we would be back at our Airbnb, just the band, and having some drinks and laughing and just sort of basking in it all. And it was sort of the community of it is what is reinvigorated me. I think is like these people are invested in, and they're not even like quote unquote in the band, but they're giving so much of their time and energy and creativity to it that it's been awesome, and I love it.
That's what it's all about. I think the shows are fleeting. You know, that's
all of it is, and it's like, you know, at this stage, people are like, well, what do you want out of this, or you know. What about making it or whatever it is? And I'm like, I don't care about all that. And I don't like, it's about like these people that I'm doing this with and how we go about it and what we do. And then by the same token, it's like people like you who are actually listening. I mean, even if it's a small number, the people that are actually listening, that are actually being moved by the music or inclined to be, and reach out and say something, even if it's one person, right? It means a lot, and it really carries you through to the next thing. And so, you know, our vision for what this should be or could be, or like, has really changed. Like for a while, it's kind of like trying to run in the race and be like, oh, we want to be out there with all these big bands and all that. And it's like, you know what? We've kind of like just reset our whole thing and been like, we're just making this music and then seeing what happens from there.
You know what, man? Honestly, Andy, what does making it even mean? Of course, you know,
I mean, a limo and
all that shit. But like, there's always something else and always something else after that. There's never like, okay, we're done. We did it.
Yeah. I mean, if you had told me like, you know, 5 years ago that we'd be playing at ACL, even I would be like, "Whoa, we made it," you know. Right. And of course, when you get there, you're never, you don't feel that way. But it's just the voyage is the thing.
The process.
And I think those like ebbs and flows in feeling. Like you said, when the bucket's full and then it gets emptied out and then it's full again and empty. I think that's part of being a human being on planet Earth and
it's
living
like
life. And also the times that we're in, you know, there's a lot of pressure out there. There's a lot of outward shit coming at all of us all the time. So of course you're going to get tired.
Kind of like life's way of keeping us in check, you know, like you don't get too comfortable over here. Like you still have to use your creativity. You still have to work hard. You still have to like expand your vision or alter it. Right. Like you said years ago, if you were at ACL, like doing these shows, you would have been like, oh my God.
Or us sitting here doing this, talking to him like this. We would have been like, oh my God, we made it.
Yeah. Now we're all here and there's always a little bit more. And that's why I was just saying a minute ago, it's like a testament to what we really have inside of us. Like we think it's enough or done, and it's not. We're not done. You're not done creating dope stuff look at you just said a band is starting to just kind of like, you know, establish itself. Right. That's just now with album 3. So imagine album 6, you know, like.
Andy's like, I don't want to.
Slow down.
I feel like you have it in you, Andy. I'm going to be bold about it. I feel like you've got it.
I think so too. I mean, thematically, this album sort of touches on a lot of this stuff. I mean,
okay.
You know, I'm just thinking about what you just said, and like there's a song on here on the album called "Weight is So Much Heavier When You Have to Carry It," and it is a, you know, it's sort of talking about all this, and there's some imagery in there about, you know, sort of when you emerge from whether it be a mental health thing or a dark spot or, you know, the bucket being empty or whatever it is. emerge from it, and you come out of your hibernation hole, and you've got the image is about having visible ribs. You come out with visible ribs, but you still go to the river to drink, and all of a sudden, you drink from it, and things start to happen again. You start to revive yourself from this place. And so, anyway.
Yeah. I think what you said about, like, even if it's one person, that really is true. If it's one person that's hearing the message that you're putting out there, I've had to remind myself 8 trillion times doing this, that's the thing. You can get caught up in the numbers and downloads and all that shit. But at the end of the day, what you said is true. And a testimony to what you guys doing is, like, within our circle of friends, without us even ever saying anything to anybody, like our buddy Jordan that owns Fire on the Mountain. When him and I met, the first thing that we really connected on was you guys. Like, oh shit, you know about them, and connecting on that. Our other friends, Ben and Tiff, own this property out in Sandy, Oregon. They're building it up into a festival grounds. And they want you to come play, by the way.
We're in. Just send us a date. We'll be there.
Okay. All right, perfect.
I'm serious. Them too. Like he was like, have you ever heard of this band Leon the Third? And I was like, oh brother, and both of those cats had the same experience that I did with the music. Like, was this a big deal for you? And I was like, abso-fucking-lutely this was. And that's a testimony to how deep you guys are going when you get together and work. And I think a lot of the times, Andy, I don't think we can see what we're doing. I don't think it's possible. And I think if we did, we'd be assholes.
And maybe that's why sometimes it can be like maddening, like on your end, like the creation process. Like you said, it was hard to make it. It was like frustrating, and you got pissed and all this stuff because you're really making, like, your albums sound like a theme for life, for like a specific time in life. And that's hard to do. Like, to make a good song, that's fine. But to make an album that feels like it's captured a moment in time that can take you through it, that's really special. So making an album like that is not going to be like cherries and butterflies and you know what I mean? It's going to be digging and like, picking and like axing stuff. Like it's huge. It's a big deal. You made like a timestamp with your album in life. And that's you got to dig to get it. Yeah. You got to dig.
Yeah. I don't think we knew what it was even. I didn't. We made it. It took forever. We started and stopped a few times, and like I said, I had a few failed processes, and then, we got the songs, and I loved it once we did it, but I put it away for a long time. Like, I didn't listen to it. Oh, wow. I don't know, for 4 or 5 months, maybe. It was mastered and it was all dealt with, and we didn't have a release date. We didn't know what we were doing. And like, I just didn't touch it, and I didn't care to. And then I had to they sent me the test pressings, and I hadn't heard the album at all in a while. And I listened to it front to back twice in a row. And that was the first time that I thought, I think maybe we made something really powerful here.
Is it hard to be objective when you do that? When you sit down and listen to your own shit, like, is it hard to be a listener?
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, at least for the lyrics, I work, that's my world, and singing, of course. And I'm not a great singer. I have a thing, but it's not really, I'm not really a vocalist. So I hear every little thing that bugs me, or that I should have,
same.
I should have sung that line again, or I should have changed that line because it makes me, it doesn't feel as sincere as I want it to, or I'm not buying it. But so I always hear that stuff. And the great thing is when I put it away and I brought it back out, I didn't think like about a lot of that. I was like, ooh, think I'm happy now. I think there's always going to be something.
Well, yeah, but
that's why you got another thing to do.
Totally. And we're different people as time goes on. We're different people from who we were when you did it. And so that guy that made the music is not the guy listening.
We touched on this last time we talked too, I remember.
Yeah, we did. We talked about
really?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, you were talking about
we talked about structural drift.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Yeah.
How all of the cells, you actually all your cells die and you become something new. You literally transform.
Yeah.
So what changed? What structural drift did you have in between Antlers and
that's a great
something
question.
trying to change your mind?
Well, I mean, it's such a cliche, and it's just so so overplayed. But we all went through this thing.
Lean
we all
into it,
went
man.
through this COVID thing, right? And so, it wasn't the disease or whatever that impacted me, but it was all that thing and all the oddities that surrounded it. And I had some very close friends, really, really, really struggle. And therefore I was I was trying to help that along. And then I sort of realized that maybe I was struggling myself. Right. And so, some of these songs that I was writing, with other people in mind proved to be a little bit autobiographical too. So it was kind of like going into this hole, and then we had these grand visions for all this touring we were going to do with Antlers and all that bit. And then that was all crushed. And so we sort of twiddled our thumbs and sat around. And so these songs, a lot of those were created during that time. Like I was working at a pace that was ridiculous during the COVID time, 2020. I mean, I was working in my home studio, demoing and creating stuff like all day, every day. And that was awesome. But like all the songs, sort of came from a certain place, I guess.
Yeah.
Like one giant song.
Yeah. Which, you just chop up into a bunch. So
it's,
yeah.
It's a trip to realize as you're doing something and you think you're doing it for somebody else, to realize that it's you that you're really doing the thing for. That's a trip. And to, like, I'm giving myself catharsis right now, and even being able,
you don't see it like that yet.
I know. And like, that's what I was going to say. And even being able to see it, that's heavy, man. Like, and like you said, at this stage in the game, yes, it's cliche and we've all talked about it, and fucking it's hard and it's still hard and it's dumb and we went through it. But we went through that shit. And I think, how do I say this eloquently? I think that a lot of us just wanted to fucking move on. And when some shit happens and you just carry on afterwards without addressing what went down, that's how stuff can fester and fuck you up. Nobody's really talked about it. It's just kind of happened, and then let's get back to normal. I always want to forget that shit even went down.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a lot of hope out there, and so.
Oh yeah.
That's I tried to make these songs this is not about being bogged down in it. This is about like hope.
Yeah, working through it.
Well, that's the flip side. That's the beauty of it, is that, when we do go through, and that again, I guess we have a theme, but like when the bucket's empty, at least we know that at some point it's going to be filled up. But like you said at the beginning, I wonder where that proclivity to worry that it'll ever be filled up again, because it's happened 1,000 million times in your life, brother, and to me too. And every time it gets filled back up, but still, when it's empty, we have that thing of like,
Well, I feel like it's like missing somebody that you know is going to come back. You just miss them. They're
Right.
they're coming
Yeah.
back, but you can't help missing somebody. And that's the thing. You like when you are with that creative spark, it feels kind of like an entity or a person with you because it's communicating to you and it's giving you inspiration and ideas. And then when it's gone, that feels lonely.
Yeah.
It feels like where's my buddy? Where's my partner?
Yeah, I mean, I went so far as to start being like, you're going to have to find something else to fill this void, buddy. Like that's what I was telling myself. I was like, I think I might be done. I think I might be done. I'm concerned that I might be done. But what was really happening, which was the right thing, I think, which was a total reset of my expectations and my joy in it. And so it was rediscovering the joy part. And that is where I am right now. And I'm really excited about it.
So that's what the cells changed into, right? The joy and the rediscovery. That's really cool.
When you're doing something that you're passionate about and you're putting yourself all in on it, I guess we forget that there's hard work involved, and then you start doing it and realize that there's, emails that you have to answer and all the shit that goes into creating something. And along the way, it's very easy to lose sight of why you even started doing this shit in the first place. And now you've got this pile of stuff underneath all of it. You know what I mean? And to be able to find that again, that's a gift, man.
Yeah. The last one of a tour we had in May really took its toll on me, and I'm just not yelling, but I'm telling Mason, like, I was like, we're done. I turned to him after the last show and I said, I hope you enjoy your last show. And he was like, what? He was like, what? And I was like, yep. I was like, because 23 hours a day sucked. It was 1 hour a day where we were playing, but 23 hours was just like doing the stuff you're talking about, like driving and dealing and making people wake up to get to places and like all the stuff. And I was just like, I'm done with this, dude. I'm done with this. But then you realize like, no. It's actually it's the 23 hours that you're supposed to love.
Yeah.
Right. It's not all about just being on the stage for the 1 hour. It's about something else. So stop being an asshole and get back out there.
Was Mason feeling that same way or not?
No, Mason is lucky, and maybe this is why we're so connected. But he's like, he stays right down the middle, and he's like a very wise man that like doesn't have any social media and doesn't like so he's able to stay out of the hysteria of worrying about what somebody else is doing and whether the grass is greener over here or whatever. So he's able to just be like, come on, like
this is fun, man.
Just go back. He's seen me go through these realms of panic many times. He knows he knows he'll meet me on the other side.
Yeah, it seems like he's the perfect person to help you with that, because if you're at an even keel, these ups and downs that we normally get maybe won't splash as hard on Mason. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
He's got a windscreen.
He's the buoy,
shield,
right?
Yeah. Andy, what's your birthday?
January 19th. Capricornus.
Okay.
Capricorn.
So I'm the last.
wow.
The last day of Capricorn.
Wow.
Okay.
In fact, there was a song from Something Is Trying to Change My Mind that got cut called "The Last Day of Capricorn." And maybe that song will come around again. It just didn't fit the record.
Is that tough to like? I know that the term like in the industry is killing your darlings or whatever they say, but like, is it hard to pick when you're putting the album together? Is it difficult to like figure out which ones go where?
a lot of them die along the path, right? So you have, we probably started out with 16 or so, and then I probably demoed 24, 16, 16 of them moved forward to the next phase. 3 of those don't ever get off the ground and they go away. So you're left with whatever that is, 12 or 13. And then you take a shot at those in a real way. And then, in this particular case, it was obvious. It was obvious. In fact, so the last day of Capricorn, I will say, not specific to that song, but it got cut really late. It was going to make the record. And we pulled a song that was a outtake from Antlers and put it in its place because it fits perfectly. It didn't fit on Antlers and it fits great on this album.
Which one?
It's Hello Heavy Ghost. Song 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
didn't know it at the time, but it was an indicator maybe of where we were heading.
It's also an indicator that you leave signposts and breadcrumbs and gifts for yourself along the way. And if you have eyes to see, you can pick those things up and put them where they're supposed to go and use them later on down the line. I know that this thing has been like that for us quite a bit. Listening to the new stuff, it's deep, like sonically deep. There's a lot going on. Yeah. For anybody listening, man, I would say put headphones on and listen to this album first before you try and like drive in your car and listen to it.
It does have it feels like you should have a date with it and listen to it. It feels like something that you want to listen to privately and feel, because from the first moment we got the album from your publicist, we were like, wait a minute. We were outside and it just stopped the air. It was hold on. And we just looked at each other is this for real?
We're doing this again?
It was very record scratch. Wait a minute, listen to this. And that's not common with every music. Sometimes you want to jump on it and dance, and other times you're but this was I got something to say, shut up and listen to this. And it was so comforting. Also, there's something about how the music is so thick in your songs that it feels like it's nurturing you no matter what is being said in the song. And so I wanted to acknowledge that, because the music feels like arms around you.
Yeah.
It really does. Even if it's smothering you or loosely holding you, it feels like an actual body part that's kind of, around you. And that is, I don't know that I felt that very often in music.
Is that the depth and texture of it? Is that what was frustrating during the recording process?
No, so I make these, I referenced the demos earlier, and I was in this demo manic phase in 2020. And I go, it's not I don't just sit down with a guitar and just strum the chords and sing it. And then that's that. I spend way too much time layering and using these drum loops that I'm not very good at creating. And I play all these instruments that I can't play very well. So they take on this really strange vibe. They're odd, and there's something about them. And Mark Nevers, who's produced all of our albums, who's a sort of creative extension of the whole thing now, was dude, we need to get we need to have the feel of these demos. So how are we going to create these songs? Let's start with the demos and try to record everything over them. Mm-hmm. The drums, and let's try to make the demos into the album. And so we agreed that let's try it. And it was a colossal disaster. It didn't work. The demos aren't in time a lot of times, and they're just too out there to be able to build on the way we thought we could. But the failures led us to we understood what we needed to do for the songs, and that led to a success. We ultimately hung it up and went out to West Texas to a place called Sonic Ranch and did it all there. And with some of one navigation charts survived from that original session, but all the try to record over the demos stuff didn't. And so, and then like we began to relayer it, and some of the stuff from the demos got migrated over on top of what we did, if I could do it. And so that's where you find all this layering.
Yeah.
But in terms of, first of all, Mel, thank you for what you said, because that that was really gratifying to hear. And is, in some sense, like, enough for me I've heard enough about it. Like,
I get it.
I don't need to hear it, that like just having you say that is like all I need. So thank you. Because we're trying to do that. Like, I don't think we'll ever be, but so like quote unquote successful, because this stuff is not for everybody. You've got to really be willing. I mean, you might be able to take a song here, like you might be able to take Mannequins or something and put it on and be like, oh, that's cute, and I'm into that or whatever. But the whole ride is pretty deep. And so like not everybody's going to be prepared to do that, or, it's not a lot of it's very groovy. It's not like dance music or like you're not bobbing your head really till the on the third jams. So if you're looking for that, you probably aren't going to get it. So it takes a little bit of work to get into it and to have that experience that you thankfully had.
Yeah, I feel like this is just true. Certain music does get you up and dance and motivated and like moving, and you can use it for aerobics and like all this kind of stuff. And then other music is like sit down and it's true.
I got you.
But it's like other music
is that a thing anymore?
Sit down and like shut up and eat this music. Like this is like a meal, or like we're gonna do some really heavy freaking work during this. And like during, like we were just saying, like the pandemic, all those hard feelings, like even though we may have talked about it with our friends or not have talked about it, doesn't matter. We're still feeling those feelings inside somewhere. So when this music gets plugged in and turned on, there's a certain catharsis that happens, because like my feeling inside me that has that, and your feeling inside you that's expressing that, it plugs in together. And then there's some actual work that can happen. There's like some crying or movement, or just literally the act of listening and shutting your brain off to hear how somebody else moved through it. And like, it feels more than just music. And that's, I guess, what I was trying to say a minute ago. Like, it feels more than just music. It feels like manna. It feels like something to be, studied, or like be in your space with this. And I love that. You're right. A lot of people can't get into that. They want to have fun and just not think, and like, it's not everybody feels
great.
That way.
That's great too.
Yeah, exactly.
I want that too, right?
Me too.
I mean, there's no. If everybody listened to stuff like Leon the Third all day, we'd go. You'd kind of spin out. So you need to. It's just part of the spectrum, I hope.
Yes.
Yeah. And
again, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No. I mean, you're welcome. And I feel like sometimes it's hard to describe things properly, but like, to me, it feels important to let you know what you did for us too, because it was a collective. Like the first time when we heard Antlers, it was like a collective, like, oh shit, or just like eyebrows up and eyes open, like, whoa, this is telling us something on a deeper level. And so I'm grateful to you for your frustrations on trying to get it out right, because yeah, man, there's nothing like trying to get an idea out of in your head and you just can't figure it out. It can be frustrating, but at least with the last 2 albums that you did, I mean, I really want to put at least a little bit of your mind at ease that you did kind of accomplish that heavier message that was meaningful, you know?
That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I think the average person that is into the music that we all like, the people that listen to this show, we've trained ourselves to take rides. That's the music that we love, right?
Right. Yes. And the people are used to trying,
yes,
you know, and like, to trying and being deep listeners and being students of the whole thing. And which, by the way, I think I told you, Aaron, I went to see Fish for the first time in forever this summer.
Yep.
And they blew my mind, man.
Where'd you go? Like, what show?
I went to night 2 of Philadelphia. I happened to be in Philadelphia with my son, and he was like, I didn't even know it was happening. And my Uber driver was like, there's 2 nights of Fish. And I was like, what? Okay. I don't know where I've been, but and I'm not a Fish person. I've told you that, Aaron. I'm not like in my youth, way back, I listened to it a bunch, but I was just like super blown away by the show. I'll tell you. I was jealous.
But wait, what was it about it? Was it the whole spectacle? Was it the music? Was it both? Like, what was blowing you? But
it's it's sort of the reason I thought about it is kind of what we just talked about. It's like the people that are there, and you guys know, are like, they study, they work, they've done the work, they know what's coming. They know the nuances and the intricacies and the emotions of all of it. And it's a different emotion than what we're peddling over here at Leon III. But it's like the people are like there, and the community is the whole thing. And but then I also, just as a musician, I was just like, again, I hadn't seen them in a while, and I've never doubted their musical talent, that's for sure. But I was just blown away by how prepared they were. You know,
it's insane.
It was they're pros beyond, and like just every moment that seems super spontaneous, I know that they were like, they knew exactly, you know, either intuitively or whatever. Like they're so prepared that it all just comes out like it's out of the tap. Anyway, I don't want to get bugged out.
Wait a minute. What about your son? What was his experience like?
What's up, everybody? If you're like me and you're trying to do better for yourself and what you eat in this new year, I have something really cool for you. Factor's delicious, ready-to-eat meals make eating better every day way easier. Wherever tomorrow takes you, be ready with pre-prepared, chef-crafted, and dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door. You're going to have over 35 different options a week to choose from, including keto, calorie smart, vegan, and veggie, and more. And there's even more to enjoy with over 55 nutrition-packed add-ons that help make your weekly meal planning even more delicious. What are you waiting for? Sign up and save. They've done all the math. Factor is less expensive than takeout, and every meal is dietitian approved to be nutritious and delicious. So here's what you got to do. Head to factormeals.com/NoSimpleRoad50 and use the code NoSimpleRoad50 to get 50% off your first box and 2 free wellness shots per box while subscription is active. That's code NoSimpleRoad50 at factormeals.com. Take all the guesswork out of trying to do the right thing for your body. Fuel up easy and fast. Go check out Factor.
So he's been on this journey where he's like gotten way into the dead. And he and I were actually supposed to go to Dead and Company together in New York, and we didn't end up. I had to leave, and I had to leave him there, and he went with his buddy, and was like way into it. He's gotten way into the Dead, and so he was like, "I'm not dead. I don't really know the Fish songs, but like I'd like to go." And I was like, "Awesome!" And when we left, we just got in our Uber, and he was like, whoa, like that was like, he's like, that was pretty amazing. He's like, I don't even know what was going on most of the time, but I know it was really good. And I'm like, yeah.
How old is he?
Sick. He's 18.
Oh
Wow.
shit!
Perfect
Yeah,
timing.
Perfect timing. Yeah, man. We
Yeah.
I'm glad we brought up other music during your process of creating music under your name. Are you listening to anything else that's like inspiring you or getting your mind off of your music or something? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
palate cleansers.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. No, I'm a big music person, and study a lot of different music and listen to a lot of music. And with like, even going into these sessions, I had like, and it was not a lot of songs. It was like 8 songs or 6 songs, a little playlist that I sent to everyone that was going to be on these sessions when we were going to West Texas. I'm like, this is it. Like this is the vibe.
Oh,
like
okay.
these 8 songs here are kind of like what I'm trying to accomplish. Like this is like, well, let's make our decisions based on this kind of
wow.
Right on.
this musical texture. Yeah. And so,
like a mood board.
and honestly, yeah, like a mood board. Exactly. And honestly, like if I look back on it now, like we did it, like it's all in there.
That's the best
Hell
shit.
yeah.
Like,
right on.
What's some of the stuff that like when you're like alone at home and there's nothing going on, you're like, I'm gonna listen to some music. What's the stuff that like you're getting off on right now?
It's so
Random.
it's so much, but like I love. I just got the Morphine re-releases of Like Swimming and The Night. So I love Morphine, and so there I just was listening to that. It's the spectrum is really wide. Like I like jazz a lot. I think we talked about this last time. I love reggae and dub stuff. I like world kind of things more and more these days. Like a lot of the analog Africa sort of psychedelic African rock music from the 70s. One of my kids just got me into listen to this Little Yachty album. That
It's
sounds
so
like
fucking good.
I mean, dude, I was like, I didn't know what to expect, and I was like, oh my god, this is Pink Floyd. I think like I didn't. This is not what I expected.
Yes.
Like the Black Seminole, that song, and I was like, holy cow, dude, you got me, you caught me.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but like for the album, I mean, I think it was like I was in a really big T-Rex phase.
Really?
Right? And like, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
see that coming.
And there's certain songs, like there's a song called Root of Star that was on the first T-Rex album that was on that playlist that I just referenced. That's like, it's very simple. The song is super simple. And, but it like has this very psychedelic vibe to it. And I was like, we need to, like, let's just simplify kind of what we're doing. Mannequin sort of came out of that, but out of that feel. But yeah, like, I'm trying to think what else was on there. I know there was like an Ennio Morricone, like big, like the Fistful of Dollars theme or something. Like there was like a little bit of spaghetti Western and like all the vibes and all that kind of feel. There was a Radiohead song. I can't even think about what else.
That's good shit.
Echoes by Pink Floyd, which is insane. Anyway, yeah, all that stuff.
Wow. I love that, like, you can take sound, like music like that, and create a soup for yourself and then be like, okay, what I make, I want it to taste like this.
Yeah. Maybe more of a technical question. How do you make it sound psychedelic?
Oh, shit.
How do you make something sound psychedelic? Because you can just play a chord and it doesn't sound particularly psychedelic or not. But like, what are you doing to create this underneath sound, you know, not just the music sound?
Yeah. I think it's to some extent the layering for us. I mean, not that's not exactly. I mean, we're not intentionally trying to create a psychedelic sound. We're trying to make the songs go where they want, but the inclinations of the band are always this spacey thing.
Yes.
And and Mark Nevers, the producer, like will fight us if we're not literally, but he will strongly discourage us from doing like any big overt moves, like a big chord change. Like there's one in Fly Migrator that we slipped past and like that. Bono, bono,
Oh,
bono.
yeah.
Like when you do that stuff, he's always like, no. Subtle. We're cutting that out.
Yeah.
But then like he'll allow the one in Fly Migrator to like, because when you do it, it hits, right?
Yes.
And so I think I'm lost a little bit in the question, but he's always trying to discourage us from like taking the easy path necessarily. And then all of a sudden, when you do take the easy path, it's like, ooh, man, like the payoff is there, right? And so it's a lot of that, a lot of layering. In this album, like turned out to be way more symphonic than we ever dreamed. We had this guy from Austin, Peter Stopczynski, who did all these strings, and we were not there. This was like after the fact, and I kind of told him the vibe, and he like changed some songs.
Oh,
like
really?
the last song of the album, in Media Res. I mean, he changed that like definitely for the better. At the end of that song, it goes into like full Fantasia mode where it gets out there in string realm, and I absolutely love it, and it drives home. It finishes the album just with so much power, I think.
Yeah, like somebody.
But we also had, we also had like some awesome. I don't know if you all know who Mike Dillon is, but he's he's in. So Mike D was on the sessions, and he had like every kind of percussion trick you've ever seen, vibraphones and marimbas and these giant bells and these water drums and all this stuff. And so all that is underneath in there, and you can find it, and Mike is like such an awesome, powerful guy who brought so much energy and love to the whole thing. And so like in the end, when you put that together, and like Kai Welch is a really adept at synthesizer, and all of a sudden like you have this alchemy that works. And like Mike brought all this Mike and Isaiah, our drummer, really brought this kind of world feel underneath. At times they're doing like these sort of almost cumbia kind of countermeasures at times. It's like, whoa, where did this come from? This is cool.
So
no, that was an excellent answer. That it's very carefully. That's the short answer.
Do it, Mel.
Well, but like it's really a process, Mel. I'll tell you, where we're like slinging paint, like as we're slinging tons and tons and tons of paint, and then credit to Mark Nevers, because he goes back and finds the jewels and mixes them and gets a lot of the paint, gets rid of a lot of the paint. He goes through and does a lot of tedious editing work that brings out the songs as we know them. So credit to him.
So like Mark is just as big of a part of the album as you and Mason at that point, because he's trying to fine tune it and create whatever, bring forward what your ideas are. How long have you been working with Mark?
Since 2016. He is he's not a household name by any stretch, but he worked with a lot of indie rock sort of royalty bands that I really like. and like Will Oldham, Bonnie Prince Billy, you may know. He produced some of his most beautiful albums, and he worked with a band called the Silver Jews, which are sort of this cult band that sort of grew out of Pavement, or had the band Pavement was associated with. And then he did some really good work with Vic Chestnut, who you all may know was affiliated with Widespread Panic, and so I loved the things he had done with them, and I wanted to work with him when we started Leon the Third. I was like, I'm going to go. I want to just turn myself over to someone and work creatively with Mark. And the process, kind of what we talked about at the beginning, like we found the sound. I think we've also now we've worked with Mark for 3 albums, and he also has an idea of what Leon the Third is and should be. And so, and he's putting his full, it's not like, I'm getting paid to produce this album now, whatever. It's like he's as fully emotionally invested in the songs as we are. And so in a lot of ways, this album, I wanted to work with someone else because I felt like, hey, we need to change the color palette a little bit. We're getting too comfortable working with Mark, and we need to get uncomfortable. And I told him that. I called him and I was like, I have this feeling we should work with someone else. And he was like, whatever you want to do, man. But, we can still do something cool. And so I was like, all right. And so, but in the end, I'm really, really glad that I did work with someone else, and that I stuck with the comfort level of Mark. And because I don't think we would have gotten to this place with anyone else.
Are we going to see you guys hitting the road, or you have any shows coming up or anything?
Yeah. So I'm not exactly sure about the rest of this year, honestly. It's been a little weird, but I know we've got a tour that's not announced yet, but maybe by the time this comes out, we're going to do a little tour with Kitchen Dwellers.
Ooh, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's amazing. What a great lineup.
Yeah. Wow. I'm pretty excited. They reached out to us, and then so I'm psyched about that. And then there's something that's not announced that's coming together with someone y'all will be interested in also, but I guess we can't talk about for June. So hopefully next year we're going to play some shows finally and I still want to head up to y'all's neck of the woods at some point.
We're going to make it happen, man.
Yeah.
The thing at the property that I was telling you about, that's a real thing. And that we need to figure that out, make that happen. And
Portland needs to see you.
Yeah.
Like
Pacific Northwest needs to see Leon the Third. You've got an army of people here.
Yeah. Even if we just come, play for those some of those names you mentioned and you all, it would be awesome.
Yeah.
We'd be into it.
I'm in, man.
Well, gosh, that Kitchen Dwellers, that's exciting because they are really, they're just strong. Like Torrance playing is so strong, and they're
all of them
so tight. Yeah, no, all of them, but just they're, and then with you guys, it's like a contrast, but like a compliment, a compliment and contrast.
Yeah. And it's that, it's exciting, again, because I feel like the people that are going to be there are going to be people that are inclined towards,
that's what I was going to say,
towards this listening that we're talking about. Like They're actually paying attention. They're not there just to, because they're supposed to be. They're there because they love it. So it's exciting.
I just wanted to ask, how was the show you played in Austin? How did that feel? Like that seemed, and it looked as if like there was such a great response to what you were doing, but you're on stage, you're seeing it, you're feeling it. How was that for you?
It just felt cathartic. I mean, look, we're playing the noon set at a festival on a Sunday, so we're not exactly at the top of the bill, but that doesn't matter to me, right? I mean, it was incredible. The weather was sublime. The band, the human beings that were in our band are just beautiful, and and there were a lot of, I'm very connected to Austin. And so there were a lot of really familiar faces in the crowd. And it was a massive stage and the whole bit, the screens and all the catering and getting driven around and all the fanfare. So like, it was awesome.
Heck
But
yeah.
but the fact that it was connected to the weekend where we did where we did the release, like honestly, like again, going back to the bucket, like the whole thing just like I got home on Monday and I was just like, I'm really excited to be doing this again.
Aw.
And so like, I don't know if anyone liked the show. I hope they did, but I did.
That's all that matters.
One
really,
person liked the show, dude. It was amazing. It was a hit.
Killed it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Do
I
you
did.
pick bluegrass anymore?
No. I do have no. I got bored. I got bored with some of that idiom because I was way into it when I was younger and tried to be like, I wanted to be like a bluegrass guy, but I'm not good enough. So you have to be really good
I don't
to do
buy
that. Mason is good enough. Mason is like a professional level mandolin player and can also, he can hold his own pretty damn well on the banjo also.
Oh, really?
But
Right on.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, that's right. I forget your banjo, right? Yeah,
I just
yeah.
get excited, because it feels as if, and maybe it's just because my attention is it, but it just feels like banjo's got this resurgence right now. And there's a lot
You're
of
in
people playing the banjo. Yeah, like I said, it might be just me. My eyes are there now, so I see it more. But like that sound, I just love that banjo sound. And when people are playing it, my attention just kind of perks up and is like, what?
It kind of demands
Yeah.
to be heard. That
We
is
were,
great.
we were talking about this last weekend. Mason, so we were in this other band, Wrinkle Neck Mules, forever, and we were touring. And so Mason taught himself the banjo in the van, going from show to show, to the point that like we were all about to go insane. I mean, he bought this like Fiddle Tunes book and sat there and would be like, stop, stop. It was like, oh my God, please stop.
I think the guys felt like that when I started to.
Yeah. I was going to ask Aaron if he feels the same way. Yeah, it's like,
I love every note.
Yeah, right.
yeah, I love it. Play Foggy Mountain Breakdown again. No, I don't. But I'm, who knows? The cycle might spin back around.
Right.
Yeah,
I was like, I've been in a phase where I've been fighting tooth and nail because I was just so sick of like being called Americana, which just kills me. And so I was like, any decision that's even seemed remotely country, although there is some awesome pedal steel on this album, but I just reject it. But now I'm like coming back around to it and being like, maybe I want to make a really weird country thing. But
that'd be
I don't know.
Oh my
I'm in.
gosh, with that weird, yes.
We'll have Mel on banjo.
Okay, so yeah, you'll get some weird sounds then. You'll definitely get some weird sounds.
Well, fuck, man. Andy, thank you, brother.
Wait, how would you describe this album?
Shit. Yeah, it's a
How
good
would what would you say it? If you're selling it, you're saying, oh, this is my new album. How are you describing this to people?
I have no idea. I mean, I really do not have any idea. Like, I cannot put this into a like elevator
pitch
thing, and I'm sorry.
No, I don't.
No, that's a great answer.
I don't know what it is anymore. Like, honestly, going the Antlers, like I think I could have, for the absolute layman, I could have mentioned Jam, The Dead and Pink Floyd or whatever, and they would have been like, yeah, okay, cool. I have some place to hang that in my mind. But on this one, I don't know what to say.
I agree. That's why I asked you. I was like, how, this is just a work that stands on its own. It really does. You just got to listen to it and enjoy it.
I think I said to your publicist, if Radiohead and Pink Floyd had a baby and Wayne Coyne was its nanny.
So these are all great things that I will accept. That's a great way to say it. Sometimes it reminds me of an album called White Pepper by Ween.
Okay.
Which is a at times very beautiful Ween album. And at times I'm like, maybe it's that. But yes, I will take the Radiohead, Pink Floyd,
Baby.
Flaming Lips amalgam.
Yeah.
That would be.
It's at the end of the day, though, man, it is fucking Leon the Third.
Yeah, it's your signature.
1000%.
It really is your signature, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I don't geek out like I do.
Yeah,
with
you do.
Not like this with this
no,
stuff.
you do. You do have a special place in your heart for it.
Special for me, man. So
and for us too. Like I feel like I really do feel like having you on the first time. It felt as if that album and No Simple Road really matched up for the time that it came out. And I'm so glad to be on your team. Like truly, like anything you do, I'm down with it. I don't care how bad or good you think it is. I'm down with it.
Yeah, I want to hear the demos.
Just because your creation process is dope and what you're putting out is right on on the level. So, I mean, if you need to call us for a happy day, just let us know we're here for it.
Well, I don't think you guys, you probably don't always see the depth of your impact, but like just being on No Simple Road and the you all sort of echoing out what we do, and people like Jordan who you mentioned, like you all have really had a profound impact on helping us find those people that are inclined to like this, and
man.
So thank you so much for that, and for your spirit and love for it. Because honestly, like I made a whole nother album just for the opportunity to sit down and talk to you guys.
Fuck yeah, man.
Hell yeah!
And I genuinely look forward to the day when I can give you all a big hug. And Apple too. I was hoping to see his face today, but you all have to say hello.
He hung out as long as he could. He has his day job is different, and when he left, he said, "Make sure you tell Andy day jobs suck and their album is fucking amazing."
Yeah, he did. Those are the two messages.
Well, yeah, tell him hello, and hopefully I get to give him a big hug sometime in 2024.
Yes.
We're gonna make it
Making
happen,
it happen.
Andy, and we stay in touch.
Yeah.
So I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
All right, love you guys.
We got
Thank
your back
you so
constantly,
much.
Andy.
Man.
Just know that we got your back.
Enjoy your Saturday, brother.
You too, y'all.
All right.
Take care.
Talk to you
Thank
soon.
you.
All
right. Oh.
Wow, man.
That's a brother from another mother, a musical brother from another mother.
To have even in jest, to have somebody say, "I made this album just to be able to come back and talk to you guys."
Yeah,
that's fucking sweet. And
you want to know what? I appreciate that we can do literally anything to help move that record along
for them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I'm grateful to hold the torch for like, hey, listen to this. You'll get something out of it.
Yeah, like Donna or fucking Billy Strings or Schools or Medeski, they come on No Simple Road. They don't need us. They don't need our help. We're doing it because their shit's rad.
Well, yeah, we love what they're doing and we're promoting it.
Right. But when something like this comes along that isn't like being shouted,
obvious.
Yeah, obvious. That's my favorite stuff because
Absolutely.
I feel like we found a truffle.
Yeah, well,
a
no,
diamond.
We literally did. We found the magic mushrooms in the forest.
Yeah,
and we're like, hey guys, look over here. And the fact that, I mean, clearly it's a not just a one-way street, it's a two-way street. He's appreciating what we're doing and moving, like you said, the needle for the album. But like all that stuff that I said was really true. Like when you hear an album and it like rocks you, it like makes you stop what you're doing. Like, you know, everybody's talking, you put the album on and and then it just literally shuts you up and people around you. That's when you know something's been put into this music that's more than just notes.
Well, yeah. And the way I think about what you're talking about is there's all this space around us, right? We have all this space out here. And you put that music on and all of a sudden that space is taken up with that. And not all music does that, and it doesn't have to. That's the beauty of art. Art is all different kinds of stuff.
Yeah, like
that's cool.
I think when we're talking about it, we're not necessarily putting anything else down, or not that this is the only thing. This is just like an appreciation for what it is. You know what I mean? Like there's 20 million sculptures in the land, but when you come up against a sculpture right in your neck of your woods and you're looking at it, that's a big deal. You know what I mean? So like, that's how I feel like we've come across this amazing body of work, and it does make you want to sit down and listen and like put your headphones on and hug your partner or get your journal out and start like taking notes or this is something that can inspire you to do something grand.
You know, when I was in high school and discovered weed, well, I guess it was before high school that I discovered weed, but
during your high school years,
during my high school years, one of my favorite things to do was smoke weed and put on headphones and listen to music. And there was certain bands that took me somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And Leon the Third is one of those bands that I could have been doing that with then. Sadly, I can't smoke weed as much anymore. But this feels like that thing. It's like putting on Electric Ladyland or In Rainbows or An American Prayer or those.
This is an iconic album to do that with. Absolutely.
And this isn't like us giving lip service to somebody because they're on the show. Mm-mm. I hope that like the listeners understand that. I think
that if you've listened thus far to No Simple Road 6 years in, you can understand when we really get excited about
when
something.
Hits.
Yeah, if something hits us, and sometimes it'll hit maybe just one of us. Like we all like it, you know, but maybe it's like really impactful for me or you or Apple. But when Leon the Third comes out with something, it does something to No Simple Road as a group. Like we all get impacted by it. And
I wonder what that is.
It's his voice, their voice. Leon the Third's whatever they're putting out is we're on that vibe. We're on that level. We're like it's hitting us like in the stomach, in the gut. You know. And just even seeing his face, he looks great.
Yeah.
Your haircut looks amazing. You look fantastic, Andy. Like you do look like you've reestablished that joy, and it looks good on you, man. It really does. So
for all of you out there that are old or new fans of Leon the Third, keep your eyes open to their social media and their website, and when they come near you, if they come near you, go see them. But like the albums the pressings that they do, the albums are really, really cool. Like they put a lot of work into the physical media of their stuff, and grab one of the albums when they do come out.
Something we didn't talk about?
What?
The strap that Jenny made him.
Oh, shit.
I would have loved to have brought that up and talked about it and hear his thoughts, because I just thought about it right now. It
was behind him to the left.
Oh, was it?
Or to the right in the screen, and towards the end, I was like, oh, I need to ask him about the strap, and then I completely spaced.
Andy, we know that you probably absolutely love it, but I just wanted to bring it up because that's part of the magic and the love that No Simple Road is bringing. Like he was able to get this incredible strap of that Antlers in Velvet album, and like from No Simple Road family.
Well, from Jenny.
Yeah, from No Simple Road family. That's pretty incredible when you start to see how the scene, as big as it is, it can be kind of small.
Web weaving.
Yeah, it's really amazing.
It's cool to see her doing her thing lately too, like with the book
Jenny
tour.
Is killing it. Let's just do a little shout out to Jenny for your book tour, for having these incredible bands that we love playing your book tour, and for you to share the stories with all the incredible musicians that you've gotten to work for and collaborate with. Like, you're doing a freaking bang up job, and
We're
I'm
so fucking proud
of
sis.
you, and like, you have earned every bit of it. So
Yeah.
congratulations, Jenny.
All right. Well, yeah.
We love you, Andy.
Buy the ticket, take the ride with Leon the Third.
Yep.
It is fucking worth it, 1,000%.
and 2024 is our year.
2024 Rhythms Ground.
That's right.
All right. Well, everybody,
Yeah.
we'll see you next week. We'll be back with more stuff and things. Until then, smile at a stranger. Safety third. Hydrate.
And remember to let the musician know that you love their music. It never gets old, okay? When they put out their heart and you tell them that their heart is beautiful or that you understood it, it matters. So share with your musician how much you love their music and that you appreciate it.
We'll be back next week. We love y'all. Peace.
But it's a burden. Felony just been deferred, and hell of me has been the earth, and alchemy can bring the birth, the melody of a newborn. So persistent, so resistant, so insistent, so commitment, so resilient. Or haven't you learned it? No simple road. 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 My windshield is shattered as I focus through the spot in the corner that is still intact. The react is both a defense mechanism as well as a fear. We've traveled this road before, so we may think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarities that feed an A equal A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
This is the story of Whitney Houston,
This is the story of Kurt Cobain,
of George Michael, of Otis Redding, of Amy Winehouse, of Michael Hutchence, Bob Marley. This is the story of Prince,
It's a new podcast series.
about how they died, why they died, and why we're still talking about them so long after.
It's like nothing you've ever heard before.
It's storytelling.
But it's more than that, because rock stars,
They tell us how we feel. They change our mood,
they change the clothes we wear, the people we hang out with.
the way we remember things.
It's them who give us those ludicrous moments, the ones where you...
Jumping around, singing your heart out, feeling understood.
And it's those moments we'll help you remember, the ones you're thinking about right now.
That feeling
That feeling.
is coming soon from Crowd Network.
Just search for Death of a Rock Star on your podcast app.
And subscribe now.